Welcome back to Dead Pine Archives. My name is Dan. I'm here with Zachary, Kelly, and Neil.
Hi, hi.
Hi.
Buongiorno.
And, yep.
No, it's delivery.
All right, Zachary, you have a story, right?
We're getting right into it.
You guys gave me nothing else to work with, so yeah.
Fair enough. Hi, my name is Zack, and today my presentation is on glowing shit. So I have two different kind of things for today. The first one, some glowing headstones, and then there's also, excuse me if I do not pronounce this right, the Paulding Light.
Okay.
So
How do you spell that?
Paulding, unless I spelt it wrong.
No, that sounds right. I'm pretty sure I saw it on the list.
The glowing headstones of Headstones Forest Hill Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know what a glowing headstone is,
It's a headstone that glows?
it is a headstone that emits a faint light after dark.
Terrible news. It's all radiation.
There's a chance.
Honestly, I was going to wait to bring it up, but I was like, all right, so how many of these are next to like... Our...
Coming to you live from Chernobyl, Michigan.
I have a whole thing called naysayers where they try to explain away what caused it.
All right.
I mean,
we're skipping ahead in your presentation. Sorry about that.
So the glowing headstones, the most famous or popular ones were the ones at Evart, and that's Forest Hill Cemetery. I'm assuming that is the city that Evart, I don't know how it's pronounced. It's just Evart. Did not look up pronunciation. Starting on that, some people say that the lights come on random times, and sometimes they don't come on at all. And by come on, I mean like it's not like someone's flipping a switch. They just like either emit or don't emit.
But even if it was, it would still be spooky.
Yeah, I think it'd almost be even more creepy if
If you're just walking through like a dark cemetery and then all of a sudden,
yeah, it just lights up. Some of them try to link to ghost stories, and the ghost stories that really kind of go with that are like railroad or people who are carrying lanterns. So pretty much like every other bridge story that we've had so far. So the tale of this specific cemetery goes back to the late 1800s when townspeople first began seeing strange lights coming off from the cemetery. Near the cemetery, there was a railroad workers' camp, and one of the men that was in charge of keeping the lamps lit at night, he sadly he and his son both drowned in the Muskegon River.
Oh.
But then since then, people have claimed to see lights in the cemetery that resembled the lit lanterns that the man would light every night. That doesn't directly say it is the actual headstones, but there's people with glowing shit in the cemetery.
Sure.
When anyone dared to approach the lights, they often would just disappear. The lights, not the people.
It would just
Where
disappear.
the fuck did John go?
I was following these lights and now I'm in a liminal space. I'm in the back rooms. Help.
Help. Ironically, there's no lights in the back room space.
So the story soon got around that the lights were being lit and carried by a dead man that is searching for his son who had also died.
Classic.
So as the years went...
Was he in a white dress?
There's no reference to the color of his outfit.
Yeah, because it was a boy, and they don't care about what boys wear. They only care about what girls wear, and it's always one dress.
So
Why male fashion sucks.
So as the years went on, the cemetery kept growing larger, and the phantom lights engulfed the gravestones themselves. So there you go. That's why it used to not be in the gravestones. Now it is. I have the exact address of it. I'm not going to dox this cemetery right now.
Dox these ghosts. Dox these ghosts.
You can say where it is.
6 Mile Road.
And like where? Like what?
Evart.
Oh, Evart. Okay.
When you visit, you want to stand outside the cemetery, and you should be able to see them glow by themselves.
Well, see, that would be fine, as long as they're not being disrespectful.
Well, it says if you try to get closer, the lights then turn themselves off. The lights do appear year-round, so anytime you dare to visit, you could hopefully see it.
Ooh, Christmas.
I mean, honestly, walking by and like seeing lights would be cool. Because then you're not in there. You're not doing,
The lights turn green in March.
They do red, white, and blue in July. So this is like obviously
For France.
Lit up by somebody else. So for people not looking at my screen right now, I have a picture of basically someone with a flashlight and some graves. But as I scroll down, you can see some different colored lights. It's not just one color. There is red. This could have been taken on the 4th of July. We don't know.
Could have also been taken a little close to an intersection, for sure.
Yeah, well, that is one of the common naysayer things. Not the intersection part, but the car part.
Yeah.
But you can see that there are some glowing.
There's red,
some glowing
yellow,
shit.
and green lights.
I
throughout.
love the top one because I mean all of these are not like amazing quality,
they're
obviously, because it
terrible.
has to be in the dark and also la la la.
And I
But
screenshotted them.
I really like the idea of the top one just being because it's like all black all around it, and the way that those 4 gravestones look like, it's like if you were to zoom out farther and
Kelly,
farther.
there's at least 10 gravestones in that
If you were to
picture.
zoom out farther and farther, it would be like it's the mouth of like a giant creature. Because those
That
ones
would
in the
be
front look like
cool.
teeth, and I saw Iron Lung not that long ago.
You are
So-
correct. It does kind of give that vibe.
Yeah.
So here's a little story that somebody had conjured up or didn't conjure up, just happened. So here's a tale of the glowing gravestones. We parked at the edge of the graveyard after dark. Several headstones about 50 to 75 feet ahead of us seemed to just glow. They had their own light source, it seemed. They were brighter than the light of the moon and looked ordinary until they didn't. When we got out of the car and walked closer, the glow seemed to disappear or fade. That is from a forum post by a night visitor. Another story.
Was his username the Night Visitor?
I did not get a username on this one.
I got you. Okay.
He
The next
sounds like the night visitor.
My friends and I were walking through the cemetery late
the
at night.
Visitor again.
Basically. We saw little lights like tiny flames flickering from the stone. They looked like a candlelight at first, but there were no candles when we got closer. And then it moved to another section of the graveyard.
You're doing like a half Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
It
Run
felt a
down
lot.
the stairs and through the temple gates.
and yours alone.
And into the shrine of the silver monkey.
The person also said that it felt alive. It's hard to explain.
I love that.
Yeah, and then I got one more of this one.
It's hard to explain, so I won't.
It needs so much. It leaves so much to be explained. Yet I can't. Goodbye, Internet. Into the night.
Into the night. And he was never heard from again until Reddit was invented.
We took a bunch of pictures with a phone flashlight on low. None of the headstones were usually bright to the eye, but when we looked back at the photos, some of the stones were glowing white in places our eyes didn't see.
What?
And it's a social media comment from Facebook.
In places our eyes didn't see?
Yeah.
What is that, a Bon Iver lyric? What the fuck?
But also, like, if you're looking at a gravestone, there's not that much to look at. It is like one area, and apparently you're just looking above
Well, it's
it.
like that thing back and forth with how, like, whenever we try to take a picture of something that, like, we can see, the camera doesn't do it justice. Versus on the flip side, when, like, it's super foggy out today, as we're recording this.
Yeah.
And it's so dense. But then the second you take a photo of it, or you try to, there's no fog. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's just the road.
Yeah.
So-
maybe that's how the giant green frog got around. Giant green squirrel
There's
got around.
nothing
back in the day.
unusual about a giant green frog, Zachary.
All right. So,
Anyways,
All right.
originally when we were kind of researching this, we heard some tales about like Baldwin being kind of like the area for it. I didn't see too much again on the Baldwin itself, but near Baldwin, Michigan, people were commonly talking about ghost lights and strange glows from the forests or railroads rather than the cemetery themselves. Some online discussions mentioned the legends of the glowing headstones somewhere around the Baldwin area, but is very vague, and it kind of seems more like folklore than an actual like phenomenon. Another well-known ghost light story, though, is the Paulding Light, and it's a mysterious glowing light that is seen in a valley near Paulding in the Upper Peninsula.
but before you get to that, actually, I was looking up some stuff about the glowing headstones.
Hit us.
And
with it.
I don't have like a bunch or anything, but I did see a few Facebook posts.
Oh,
And you know I love them. So there was a
Legends of
Wait,
the glowing
is-
headstone.
Was it Judy? Is she making a...
It's
a
not
return?
Judy.
Was that her name?
It was something with a J.
I think you're right, yeah.
It's like
Could
It
have
was
been.
like Judy or Janet or something.
I was
Yeah.
going to say Janeth. I don't know why that's what popped in my head.
The comments are funny because they'll be like, "Oh, I saw those. Not a big deal. Whatever." And then the next one will be like, "Oh, they're from the headlights." you guys are dumb. And they're like, listen, Mark, calm down.
You're clearly from the headlights. I've been taking my grandchildren here for generations.
Yeah, so this was the one answer. And he says berm, and I don't know what that is. So
Berm?
Berm. I thought maybe it meant barn, but that's a lot of letters misspelled. So I don't know what a berm is. BERM.
Okay.
Anyways, they don't face 10, which I assume is like the road or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure. There's a big berm between the highway and the cemetery, and I've seen them glow/flash with no traffic at 2 a.m. Not sure what it is, but something happens. Never seen it from inside the cemetery, only outside looking into it. Headlights wouldn't reflect odd colors. It would be just yellowish or white, not green or purple or blue. And then someone went on about how like maybe there's old minerals in the stone, and that's
Ooh.
like why there's some odd
I don't even
colors.
think I have that
That's a fun
explanation.
idea.
Also, a berm is the shoulder of a road.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good to know.
Yeah, that
Then
actually makes
say
a lot
that
more
guy.
sense.
Right? But you know,
Um,
I find people like that like people do just go fuck around in a cemetery too in the
They
morning.
do.
Like I like that's like makes it's like more of like a believable story because people actually do go do shit.
Well, yeah, so this person right under them says, right, but old minerals will glow all kinds of colors. I'd like to have seen it on a moonless, starless night with no traffic on 10. LOL. I understand the headlights don't go obstructed onto the stones, but I'm thinking they creep their way in. But who knows?
LOL.
Yeah, and then the person under that even goes into the depends on the headstone. Quartz has all different colors deep in there and could reflect just about any color, especially with LED lights these days. Don't know about that, but I thought it was interesting. And then this comment was very interesting to me, and it would be something to look into. It says, maybe someone should mention Joseph Guyton, who was the first American soldier to be killed on German-held soil in World War I. He is buried in the Forest Hill Cemetery.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, and his ghost and I don't know something with
no.
quartz coming back with him or something. I don't know.
No. It just said that he's buried there, and war tends to make ghosts
Yeah.
not. So yeah, and then there's a lot of people just saying like, oh, my grandparents are there, and that there a lot of vandalism has happened.
That's really sad.
Yeah, but they also say that you don't see any of the lights when you're in the cemetery. So guess what? Seeing it from the outside and then not vandalizing works the best.
I would love to have a headstone that's made. I mean, it's very hard and very expensive to get a hold of a headstone that is unique because
They're expensive.
they're very expensive, and most cemeteries, like depending on what cemetery you're looking at, has a deal with places that have quarries where they get specific stones from. I would love to have one that is made up of stuff that glows. I think that would be sick. And then it got me thinking like, oh, I wonder if Nicolas Cage's headstone glows. That thing's insane looking. It's made of white marble, so it probably does a little bit.
I want a glow in the dark one,
Honestly,
Dude, I
I
know,
wonder.
or like a Goosebumps one where it has like the dripping ooze.
Dude, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna put that order in for myself right now. But
No takesies backsies.
but I do think there is something to that. Like especially in these like older cemeteries, whatever stone they're using, like what's the reflectivity of that stone? How does that, because they're like, oh, it's glowing from nowhere. It's like, no, it's, and maybe we're at the skeptics of it, but it could be reflecting the moonlight.
It could be,
which
but
is also reflecting the sunlight
I like
because
to
the
believe
moon
in
doesn't
magic.
glow.
So
You know what? There's a great way around this, actually. After I die, I'm putting it in my will. If I die first, I need somebody. It is going to be, they are contractually obligated. I will set up a trust so that like every month you get, I don't know, $10. You have to go to where I'm buried. And I just need you to paint my headstone glow in the dark.
Yeah.
So literally I did that on a statue, like for the eyes in the front.
Yeah, the Raven.
The raven on the porch, and I
Yeah.
did it with the eyes, and it worked so well.
Yeah. Well, also,
This is happening.
they sell the little glow-in-the-dark rocks. I'll just get it embedded into the headstone.
There you go. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to.
Wouldn't the protective stuff that goes on top of like the stone would, like, I'm assuming there's some type of protective coating on it. Wouldn't that stop the light from entering?
It depends. Depends on what you're using. You can use it clear.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I'm not in the headstonery.
Yeah, I've never.
Or you can mix some of that glow in the dark paint into the clear coat that goes on top.
That'd be lit.
The clear
Very
epoxy.
true.
I'm sure they'll only charge you $4,000.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do to
make
save like the $4,000,
Make our own DIY headstones.
I'll have to
Hi-res.
I'll have to figure out like setting aside a trust for car batteries. But I think what I'm gonna do is go to a junkyard and spend a couple $100 on those fucking truck high beams and mount them into my tombstone on a motion detector. So anytime
my
somebody walks up
God.
close
Oh
to
my
it,
God,
they get
Neil.
blinded.
Pow! Right in the kisser.
That,
Right in the kisser.
dude, villainous behavior.
Last one is
You're gonna take out some innocent deer.
last one was Annette and Linda. Annette says, because someone says it's a special effect, and she goes, Susan, it is no special effect. I grew up in Evart, and it was and still is a crowd pleaser. And then Linda right under goes, also to Susan. I don't know what Susan said.
We
she
need
just said
to
it was,
find Susan's comment.
Susan, I will find Susan's comment. It just says, Susan, I grew up in Reed City, and those are not special effects. In high school, we used to go and watch them glow with way too many dots after the glow. Just
That
dot,
means
dot,
they're
dot, dot,
fucking.
dot.
Susan,
Not
you
watching shit
fucking
glow.
idiot. No one in Everett's ever even heard of special effects.
I will also
the first
say,
weren't
film
even
played here in
invented.
1993.
I found Susan's comment. It wasn't that hard, and it's not even that mean. It just says it was pretty cool to see on TV, but have to wonder if it isn't some special effects without
On
seeing it in
TV?
person. Someone did like an episode or something on it.
This
like
is on
15 years ago. Look at 9 and 10 News.
Yeah, it was probably either a news thing or one of those places that's like, oh, local mysteries. Hoop doop doop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll find the video and I'll link it. But yeah, she was just like, "Oh, that's cool. Maybe like it could be hard to agree with." And they're like, Susan, Susan, you fucking idiot.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. People get very protective of their local legends, especially if
They
they've been
do.
here for generations.
Oh yeah. But yeah. That's I just saw some of those comments and I thought it was fun.
Fair enough. Onto the Paulding Light.
Ooh.
Paulding.
The Paulding Light is one of Michigan's most famous ghost legends. It appears in a remote valley near Paulding. Pretty, understandable. In the western Upper Peninsula of Michigan. For those who do not listen to any other episode of this podcast and you don't think things are Michigan based. And it's not far from the town of Watersmeet, which makes me laugh. It is not It's not spelt like MEAT. It's MEET.
That makes more sense.
But anyways, so what people kind of witness when they're there, this is where different color lights come into play. They could just have like, I don't know, like a string of Christmas lights. I don't know. But sometimes they'll see a bright white, yellow, red, or green light, and it hovers or floats down the valley. Usually like the whole entire like distance of it. And then it moves closer or it moves far away. I mean, that's kind of a stupid thing to add because it's really the only two directions you could go for that.
Could go up or down.
They're still going closer or farther away.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Sometimes,
I'm panicking. The light is moving north by northeast.
sometimes it splits into two lights.
Ooh.
Again, don't know why.
Oh my god, it's the Paulding Light. You immediately get hit by a truck. Because headlights.
That didn't even think of that.
No, that's just my gravestone.
Yeah. That's just Neil's villainous gravestone.
It's his special effects. But anyway, so it's visible from a specific viewing spot at the end of a dirt road, often called Robbins Pond Road. On dark nights, the lights can appear in minutes or not at all, because that's how time works. It's one of those two options. You're either getting it or you don't.
Sure.
You betcha.
What happens if you see like half a light? It's like not even. It's literally just like not a crescent moon. It's just half moon.
Half moon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What if it's literally just perfectly cut in half? Don't know. Haven't seen it. Although stories related to the light will vary, the most popular legend involves the death of a railroad brakeman. and not breakdance man, to make sure you understand the difference. The legend states that the valley once contained railroad tracks, and the light is the lantern of the brakeman who was killed while attempting to stop an oncoming train. But it didn't work. Apparently. Another story claims the light is from the ghost of a slain mail carrier. Again, don't know
Why?
Okay.
It didn't give any explanation on what happened to this poor man, but it then also goes, well, another like potential option is it's just the ghost of Native Americans dancing on power lines that run through the valley.
You know, there is, so I was looking up comments again, and they were saying that these stories do go back to, like, Native American roots.
Yeah.
So they were saying, like, yeah, you can say it's cars, but they saw it before cars, so you're a fucking idiot.
I'm just kind of confused.
I don't think it would have worked for them dancing on electricity.
Well, they say they
lines,
dance
but,
on
you know.
power lines, and I'm assuming the power lines are up in the air. Are the orbs just like...
I mean, sometimes
Still
they have them
higher
buried
up?
in the ground, too.
Yeah, but then, like, are they really people would say they're dancing on the ground then. They wouldn't say they're dancing
Well, I think
on
the
power
implication is
Yeah.
that it's spirits.
Yeah,
so
it's-
they
yeah.
can get up
Yeah.
there.
Well, and there is a whole history, like it has become part of lore that the paranormal does affect electrical
Yeah.
currents. Like,
Yeah.
so I guess like that can...
I just think it would be funny to see one way up in the sky on top of an electrical line.
That's
Like,
fair. Also, I've never been to Paulding. It's,
Same. I've never been to the UP.
but also when it comes to like indigenous stories, if you look at, the Western UP is like a hub
Yeah.
of many indigenous tribes for like years and years and years. So
Yeah. According to John Carlyle of the Detroit Free Press, one legend is that a grandparent looking for a lost grandchild with a lantern, and the lantern needs to constantly be relit, and that's the reason why the light kind of comes and goes, which is kind of sad.
It is.
So I found a story from Reddit. It is not nearly as funny as any of the other ones we've gotten.
That's okay. I have some comments,
Yeah.
and they're not the same, but yeah.
Yeah, some of them don't hit like that. But anyways, note that from where you stand looking north, the road goes down to a creek and then back up another hill. At the time, the road was open and was just a typical gravel road you might find anywhere. That's just some pre-story knowledge for you. I'd been to the site a few times, and yes, indeed, the lights are off in the distance. No doubt they are from cars. I call this the false Paulding light. Not the real one, the false. That part's from me, Zack. On a couple occasions, I witnessed a white light drifting through the trees at the bottom of the hill. You could see the light, but not the light source due to the tree. Cool.
so scientifically, you're saying you can't see through trees.
From what I'm gathering from this person's Reddit post, yeah.
Oh,
You can't see through trees.
that guy can't. Fucking
Yeah.
loser.
Mhm.
It would move around the tree, though, and the shadows would shift accordingly. This confused me as to which light was the Paulding light. On one night, during the fall, myself and a group of friends went there in one car. Specifically, one car. There's not a second car. My friend was driving the one car. One friend and I stayed from the normal viewing point, while the rest of the friends drove to the far hill, where the road curves but the power lines run straight. There were clear skies, maybe half a moon. I'm a genius. And little to no wind, because we all know ghosts hate wind.
Common knowledge.
We did not have a flashlight, but we had handheld radios because cell phones were for the rich kids.
Did it really say that?
Yes, it did.
When is this Reddit? You're posting on Reddit, sir.
Hey, this maybe it's from their childhood. Maybe now they're rich. I'd like to think they're like Bill Gates rich, but we know who they are. So
See, I like to
they're
think
not.
of it differently. I like to think that he's posting on it from like a, $5,000 desktop
a
gaming computer,
li-
but doesn't have a cell phone.
Or like a library computer, and he just like has to go to the library to access the internet.
I'll see you later, Mom. I have to go to the library to write up this thing.
I'm going on Reddit.
I gotta go on Reddit.
However, when the car went up the hill, we lost communication. So apparently their cell phone radio thingies, or their handheld radios, sucked. They just hung around for a little bit. It was pretty boring. No lights appeared. So their friend decided that they're going to walk to the next hill, just to try to find everybody else. But we couldn't talk to him on the radio, so who knows? So he started walking, and I was a few steps behind. This was the crazy part. Get ready for something wild. You guys ready? After only walking in the dark for 30 seconds, a bright white light appeared at the bottom of the hill by the creek. Maybe 1,000 feet away, give or take.
Give or take 1,000 feet.
Well, the give or take part was me. It did say
Oh.
1,000 feet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I said maybe.
Oh.
We both stopped in our tracks. It floated straight up the road, straight at us, traveling 35 or 40 miles per hour.
The posted speed limit.
I had the speed gun, but no cell phone.
That's insane.
I spent my cell phone money on a speed gun and two-way radios.
And
Which
but
it can
did it
totally
pay
track
off?
a light.
Did it pay off? Yes.
Couldn't read the speed on it though because I didn't have a flashlight.
It looked like a motorcycle, but no sound. Like the light looked like the headlight of a
Oh, okay.
motorcycle. I'm assuming that's what they meant.
That would make sense.
It was bright as a welding arc without any fluctuations. And as it got closer, it appeared to be the size of a basketball at chest height. We didn't know how to react or what to do. We just stood there watching it get closer. So they were going to let themselves get hit by a fucking bike.
Yeah.
When it was about 30 feet away, still not very close. That's still a good distance away.
Yeah.
Still moving at the same speed, it simply vanished. There was nothing there. Gone. Thin air. Nada. Nothing. Just us standing on the road, in the forest, in the pale moonlight, looking like some idiots. Holy fuck! That is spelt in here. Holy fuck.
First off, okay. So, like,
Looking like a bunch of idiots.
yeah, I love
That was me that added that part.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just.
I'm embellishing some of it.
It's all right. It's all right. I
It
appreciate
looked like a motorcycle, but with no sound. So I made motorcycle sounds. Vroom, vroom.
Started kicking my leg and dragging it in the dirt. So holy.
And then it disappeared, and it was just me and my buddy in the piss in our pants standing there.
in the pale moonlight. Definitely
That's
5
when I
feet
fell
away.
in love. We've
Oh.
been married for 7 years.
We have 5 children.
Tomorrow's our anniversary.
Tomorrow's our anniversary. We're going back to that spot to
Oh.
sacrifice ourselves to the ghost light.
Holy
this-
spook.
Maybe this time the light will have a sidecar attached to it.
That would be so funny. We had no idea how to respond. We just needed to go somewhere else. So naturally, we continued down the road, past the place where the light appeared, and eventually found our friends in the car. They didn't see any of it. That is what I consider to be the true Paulding light, not the fake fuck. Maybe it's a ball lightning. I don't know. We both witnessed the exact same thing. There's no photos or video.
A what?
I don't know how they would have expected to have photos or video if they had no phone.
Maybe it's a what?
Ball lightning.
Ball lightning, that's what it says.
That's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Is it? Is it really?
It is. I promise.
I went back a few years later alone. A guardrail was across the road blocking traffic. I saw the FPL, not the TPL. And for those who don't know, FPL, fake Paulding light.
Jesus fucking
TPL,
Christ.
true Paulding light.
Stop
Here I
trying
was-
to make FPL and TBL happy.
Here
They're
I
not
was
going
like,
to happen.
What does that mean?
While this was not a life-changing event, it definitely is one of those unicorns life throws at you. I don't think anyone's ever thrown a unicorn at me in my entire life.
Yeah.
Maybe the scientists will figure out, like they did with the car headlight. Again, that wasn't really good English. But for now, it's a good up mystery.
So
You wait till I submit this post to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's gonna fucking figure it out.
And yes, I know I said up is UP mystery. I did have so we can go into kind of breaking that down in a second, but I did find like just a cool fun story that is about kind of goes back to the headstones. So another story is the meteor tombstone. This way up north near Nisula, east of Bruce Crossing. I haven't heard of either of those places before.
Yeah.
The story is a meteor fell out of the sky way back in the 1800s and was recovered by farmers. The wife loved the meteor so much that she wanted it to be used as her gravestone. It's an odd pyramid shape, dark black stone, and it looks nothing like others in the cemetery. You'll find it at St. Henry's Evangelical Lutheran Church and Cemetery on M38 in Laird Township near Nisula.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of cool.
The way you
Dude, I
read
love that.
off what that was sounded like a early 90s commercial for like a used car sales lot where it's like so-and-so Bob's Discount Emporium off Route 77 in Wichita.
Get your meteor tombstone.
I did look up some comments.
Texas not applied.
I did look up some comments about this too, so I don't know if this is a good time.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
I only have like the naysayers part next, so.
Oh, okay. Here's some of them. This guy was the first comment that I saw that I thought was very funny. Robert said, "I've been there many times and I've never seen any lights, but I was always in Jarvis's bar. Probably why I never saw any lights. LOL." He commented on a post about the lights.
So he was just drunk in a bar
Yeah.
and he just never went to the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there was I went to the Brian. I went to this when I was about 20. Honestly, it was weird, but not as weird as the lady who started talking to me and my friend group. I think about that often. That was it.
So there's just a lady there trying to talk to them?
I guess. And he was like, important.
Was she wearing a blue dress?
Lady in
Was she wet?
But
Was she not wet?
Who knows?
It's up to your interpretation of her moisture.
Ooh. There's a guy named Ray, and he said returning home late one night to Alpena around 1970 after attending a Little League tournament downstate, we were harassed by the lights that had been hot dogging around the power lines along the highway. They seemed to be having fun messing with us. We sped up, they sped up, we slowed down, they slowed down.
They were on their motorcycle. We weren't.
They would disappear for a while and then show back up. It scared the living daylights out of my coach and former Marine who was driving the car I was in. Many years later, at a high school reunion, my former coach and history teacher talked about it. He said that it changed his life and was from that point on trying to figure out what those colored spheres were.
Yeah.
Those orbs were not some goofy static electricity or anything like that. They were conscious.
They're ball lightning.
Ball lightning.
Also, though, like bullshit, kids aren't allowed to ride in the car with teachers.
Oh, 20 years ago?
I don't know. I mean,
this man, okay, when he
I
said
don't know if they were ever allowed
1970.
I don't know. I'm not going to look that up, but.
That sounds right.
Well, it did say Little League, so I'm
But
assuming
then he
that
said
they
it was his high
happened
school teacher.
they happened to be that, but they could have been like part of like not the school, but a sport thing. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
There was Sandy said a lady studied the Paulding Lights for 10 years or more. I met her there and we started talking and she showed me pictures of the light and also orbs along the railroad track used to be.
And then poof, she turned into ball lightning.
She told me the light comes down the track when it's quiet. She believed there was opening near bottom for spirits to come and go. This was years ago, but I do believe this possible. This is possible. She has been, oh my God, she has seen many orbs even in the daytime, shadows of people. And then she just stops it there. I don't know where the shadow of people come and then you just drop it.
I was gonna say, the shadows heard about her writing this post and then they got her.
And then I'll read this one because the punctuation gets me. Andrea, a few years ago, ... My husband, son, and I had stopped there after Bond Falls. While we went up there, ... It was still light out, So we thought we'd wait it out till it got dark out, ... Only ones there. ...
I love it.
While waiting. ... My son was up on the hillside kicking around in the dirt. ... And my husband was sitting on the guardrail. ...
Sir, they hit the next ...
I saw...
Sir, they hit the 70th ...
Oh my Lord. I was just standing, looking down at the pathway where you stare to see it. ... And lo and behold... ...
Oh my God.
I saw the light! ... During the afternoon! ... 2 exclamation points. My husband thought I was joking when I said something. A bunch of dots. I said no. Look, a lot of exclamation points.
Helen, it's not a telegram.
Sure enough,
Helen,
exclamation
fucking
point.
cool it, my guy.
It's Morse code.
God.
It's Andrea. Can't say it's headlights. ...
Andrea.
Plus, if you say it's headlights from Highway 45... ... Look at a map. ... The road is southwest angle and 45 is south. ... Doesn't line up. More dots. I'm a true believer. A bunch of dots. Can't explain it. More dots. Neither can these places trying to debunk it. A few dots.
Andrea, Jesus Christ.
If there is one thing that story convinced me of, is that I would probably hate to have a conversation in person with Andrew.
I'd rather have a run-on sentence than that bullshit.
Yeah, there's a lot of dots.
There's a lot of dots.
There's a lot of
The
dots.
roads don't add up. Stop. Stop saying that this is the... Stop.
I feel like that was very much like, I'm by the car. Stop. When I walk over to the street, I'll be stop. And then, like when they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to hang out? You're on a walkie-talkie. Do you want to hang out when this is over? When this is what? Over. When this is over.
Over.
When this is what? Over. Like, Andrea.
oh man, there's a bunch of them. Many
Check
years
out
ago.
for yourself at maryscratchmiss.com.
Stop it, Zachary.
Many years ago, the Milwaukee Journal Sunday paper carried a big article about the lights written by a geologist. He said that the lights are not uncommon and are reported in other areas of the world. He said there's a huge amount of quartz in the area and that the ground is very unstable. This is common to the other similar places. Normal movements of the earth causes the lights phenomenon. Crystal quartz can generate power, as we all know in the quartz watches. I didn't know that. I do not remember anymore exactly how this produces the light effects. I'm sure you can Google it, but I've been there. I 100% believe his explanation.
Zach, what?
Kelly.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know if you were going to get to it at some point, but what did you have a lot of stuff on what, like, quote unquote naysayers say?
I mean, it's not that much, and I can go through it real quick.
Oh, okay.
All right, so some of the natural explanations. Some grave markers might reflect faint ambient lights. Car headlights or moonlight at certain angles.
That's what we discussed, yeah.
Atmospheric effect at night can create illusions of glow or flicker. Paranormal believers, they think the glow might be spirits, residual energy, or something unexplained. Optical or camera-based explanations, they suggest reflections, long exposures, infrared, or phone camera artifacts can create the effect in photos. Atmospheric and reflection theories, something distant light sources like cars, nearby buildings, bounce off shiny stones at awkward angles after dark. It is worth noting that none of these personal accounts are formally documented by a scientific or journalistic investigation. They're individual stories shared online. Headstones are often made of marble, granite, or polished stone, and that can reflect the lights in odd ways, especially at night or in cameras. And then again, cars, and then the most personal stories don't include precise location, date, and repeatable conditions, which make scientific testing difficult. Bullshit. All those people just said they're in the same fucking valley.
Yeah, Andrea, in spite of all of her hell dots, she did give very clear, like, this road and this road don't intersect.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had an address for one of the places, so get fucked, nerds. Yeah, so that's all I got. We like glowing lights.
Yeah.
So I found some stuff.
Nelly. Or Neely.
Yeah.
Before you read those,
Yeah.
I don't need to go over the last comment, but there was the one who had talked about how the lights have been spoken about by Native Americans of the area way before they even made cars. And it says, explain that Michigan Tech and Michigan Tech's conclusions were proven wrong. And then also they were like, can't anything just be awesome and mysterious these days? Jeez.
I'm awesome and mysterious.
Also talked about that if it was from cars, we don't have flying cars, so I don't think we can have lights that high.
Yeah, they're not on the top of fucking things
so.
and shit. Neil, over to you with sports.
So, Dan, it's funny that last commenter brought up Michigan Tech because I just I read an article from the British Broadcasting Company from the
BBC.
That's it. Because they did an article 2 years ago in 2023.
Oh yeah, I think I looked it over.
Yeah, on the Paulding Lights.
Almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years now. Yeah, I mean, I go sure. 2.5, whatever. Fucking splitting hairs. Jesus Christ. Can't fucking say anything. Anyway, so
Oh my lord, move on.
Anyways,
Neil, let me stop you. No.
Yeah. So it says in 2010, Michigan Tech University electrical engineering PhD candidate Jeremy Bowes led a student expedition equipped with everything from cameras to light meters to high-powered telescopes. Their sole mission was explaining the Paulding Light with supporting proof. So they weren't going to disprove it. They wanted to prove it indefinitely, right?
Okay.
Or at least from a scientific perspective, go out there and not be able to explain it away.
Swag.
They came away with empirical evidence of what many less fanciful Paulding visitors already expected. It's cars.
Oh.
Distant headlights combining with atmospheric effects to create a shimmering mirage. It's the same way if, like, in the summer when the sun hits the road in front of you and it looks wavy. Yeah, it looks wet. Or, yeah, it's
or
that.
Is it wet?
It's not.
Sorry, not a hill I'm willing to die on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Well, that's sad. I mean, also still magical in its own right, though.
I still believe.
It says, Bose earned that PhD and is now an associate professor at Michigan Tech's Electrical and Computer Engineering Department. Despite his team's efforts to offer the community a clear cause of the sightings, the legend persists, right? There are people like your commenter
who did not tag any source of why it was wrong, but it was wrong.
Exactly. No, because I saw it and that is more reliable than a light meter telescope.
The thing is that people also need to, like, when you have these, like, old, lore and everything, and then you find scientific reason for it happening, it can still be magical.
No, it can't.
Yeah,
the magic goes away when people prove it's not real.
Okay,
so
but to be in that specific spot where all those things do what they need to do for you to get to see the light, I think there's still some magic in that.
Sure, yeah. Absolutely.
The magic of friendship?
Yeah. It's about the friends we made along the way.
No, it's not. None of those people were probably friends. They're all just schoolmates doing work.
Zach, this was your story.
And I hated it.
And I hated every minute of it. Also, did you guys see the, like, wooden sign they put up for it?
No.
So on the side of the road, like where it is, they put up, it looks like a sign you'd see at like a state campground. Yeah. And it says Paulding Light. And I'm just going to read it real quick because I think it's fun. This is the location from which the famous Paulding Light can be observed. Legend explains its presence as a railroad brakeman's ghost, destined to remain forever at the site of his untimely death. He continually waves his signal lantern as a warning to all who come to visit. To observe the phenomenon, park along this forest road facing north. The light will appear each evening in the distance along the power line, right of way. Remember, other people will be visiting this location. Please do not litter. And then it's got, I'm sure, a copyrighted image of like the 1950s Casper the Ghost comic book. Yeah.
Yeah. Littering.
Yeah.
It's spooky. Every single time we cover anything that even hints at the ghost of someone that is associated with a
Lantern?
train
Oh, yeah.
ever, I get war flashbacks to the haunted train conductor episode of Hey Arnold, because that thing
Oh.
scared the shit out of me.
I got really excited. I thought you were talking about Danny Phantom. Never mind. Wasn't there one, right?
He's a phantom.
Yeah. I was like, pretty sure.
Danny, he was just 14. When
Kelly does a really good, speaking of Danny Phantom.
Oh, box
Kelly's
ghost?
a great box ghost.
I haven't.
Do it.
I haven't
Do
heard
it.
that name in years.
Do it. Show us your box ghost.
I can't. Listen, well, and I was going to sneak it in because.
Box Ghost now.
Oh my God. No, I was going to sneak it in because I know this is an unpopular thing at this table. I didn't really watch Danny Phantom.
I know.
It's very unpopular.
Sorry. I just knew enough pop culture to get by. And then there was one year around Halloween where I just got very obsessed with doing the whole, I am the box ghost.
It makes me
Nailed
happy.
it.
It's
so
just
good.
a Minnesota accent.
It's beautiful. It's a box ghost accent. Anyways, Kelly, actually,
Mm.
this has. It's not the Paulding Lights at all, but do you remember it was you, me, Jennifer, and Kirsten, and we were driving up to the UP?
Yes.
And Joan.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Joan was there.
remember.
Yes.
And
Joan
there was
was
that-
there and
yeah.
we saw those lights.
And there was, we were driving on the expressway and there was like this, it was kind of like super cloudy or something out, but there was like this weird light that we were like, where is it coming from and where is it going? And it was in the sky. So it was very like UFO feeling,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just, we couldn't figure out where it was coming from because we were in the middle of, nothing. There were no lights or anything. It was just our car lights. And I just remember being like weirded out.
We were going down a very long, straight stretch of highway, and it was a very large expanse. What? What? I don't have it. What?
Neil just got maryscratchmas.com.
I bought the domain maryscratchmas.com.
We just need a picture of Kelly's face on it. Oh my God, that's great.
Kelly was in the middle of our great, fantastic story of
No.
actually having UFO ghost lights dealings.
No, nothing matters now.
I mean, at least
Why?
Stupid. You're stupid. You're a stupid man.
oh, that's our new page. Everybody, check it out.
That was
Okay,
Judy's
no,
trust
okay.
fund.
That would be really funny if we ever make merch. You can go on there.
maryscratchmas.com.
Yeah, what are you going to do with that? How many years
Link
did
it
you buy
to our
it?
website.
It was probably
I
like
hate it.
10 cents or $1.
I hate it.
Was it expensive?
It was like $10
Oh, that's not bad.
God damn it.
for the year. I was like,
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, there's definitely far worse things you spend $10.
I will
See
say-
what billionaires could do if they fucking wanted to. Just buy
Listen.
dumb shit.
Neil buys URLs like no one's business.
I actually just got rid of one.
Oh, you got rid of neildaddy.com?
Yeah.
No, it's neilfather.com now.
Oh.
Yeah, branding.
I say
Brandon.
He's not, yeah, it's father.
Don't
They call
say
me
daddy.
Danny. Anyways, Kelly, if you remember any of where you left off with that story, it was just super weird, right?
Start from the beginning? I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, it was just, we were just driving down a very long, straight stretch of highway, and it was the middle of the night, and we were heading to a hotel, and there weren't that many other cars, and just like off in the distance, it was like a giant expanse of like the cloud cover just kept going back and forth between like solid red, and then it would eventually get green, but like we were on the highway in the boonies up north. Like
Yeah, there was no lights.
There was no intersections. It was just freeway for forever. And we were like, what the fuck? I'm sure it's buried in
Surrounded
my
by
Snapchat
trees.
somewhere, but
Probably
like we filmed
surrounded
it.
by deer.
Honestly, we were probably surrounded by deer as well. But it was
Maybe a
just super weird
skinwalker.
because it was so high up and we were, being used to being in like suburbia and like downtown. I was like, well, maybe it's lights in the distance. And, for like Halloween and stuff, when there's like haunted houses, they'll have like the spotlights.
Yeah.
So
and
I was like trying to go through all the possible things, but
I was like,
there's
is it
no
a
way.
stadium? Is it? No. And it was
No.
like 1 a.m. too. So.
Yeah, it was really fucking late. And I think we just drove until we drove past it.
Yeah.
And
We
it was
had to have
wild.
passed
That's
it
how
at some
driving
point.
works.
Well, yeah, but it was like we drove past it and there was still no like reasoning for it. And I don't have any, UFO stories or it's not usually my main interest in hyper focusing, but that is definitely one of mine up there where I'm like,
I
something
love
weird
it.
was happening. Don't. Oh, I finished.
Because it makes me horny.
there it is.
There it
Yeah.
is.
Anyway,
That's an office reference, everybody. Aliens do not, in fact, make me horny.
I'm gonna cut out that part.
History
so.
will say otherwise.
It's literally just going to go, and then everybody, because aliens make me horny.
That would be funny.
Well, thank you, Zach,
Make
for
that a
all of
soundbite.
the research. Good job on your glowing shit.
Thank you, Miss Kelly of the.
What do you think, Zach? Do you think the shit actually glows?
Yeah, I'd like to believe. I like to think things are magical in life.
Nice.
That's like the opposite of what you said 10 minutes ago.
People are
Don't listen to the
complex,
first
Neil.
half of the-
People can change their minds.
Don't
We
listen to
contain
the first half of
multitudes.
the
Remember,
podcast.
he's got to stay firm in his beliefs. He's running for mayor.
What?
That happened in like 2 episodes ago.
How do I not remember?
I don't know, but we
Mayor
were saying
Zack here. I have won the
Mary
election.
Scratchmas.
Mayor Scratchmas, I have won the election.
You can't say that. I own it now.
Check out our website at maryscratchmas.com.
My website.
Neil's website at maryscratchmas.com.
There's a good chance that when this episode comes out, nothing will be on that website because Neil just owns the URL and he is a busy man.
I will
Or
literally
I'll just
make
put up a picture of Zachary and put text under it that says aliens make me horny.
Please don't do that.
That'd be so funny.
You could quote it as they don't make me horny.
I think that's funny. And then also it can have a secret like send to button at the bottom where you can just send them snakes.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, good job, Zach. Good
All right,
job.
yeah, no, that was awesome. Anything else to say?
No.
Oh God. All right.
All right.
Ignoring that. Okay, well, thank you for that. That was a lot of fun. I liked it. Talking about lights, man. It's weird. It's weird and I like it. You know the drill at this point. So that's the end of our episode today. Feel free to follow us on all streaming platforms and YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can send us an email at info@deadpinearchives.com. You can check out our brand new website, maryscratchmas.com, apparently. If you want to show your support, leaving a comment, liking, subscribing, that's, the best way to do so. And make sure that you keep an eye out for our sister show, Midnight Horror Picture Show. Follow them on all their socials as well. I think that's it.
Sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Oh, God.
That's Zach when he sees an alien.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my god.
And not.
God damn it.
Just show up in the back kitchen of a Domino's.
Oh my god.
The story,
Wake up, Kelly. It's your shift.
Well, see, nightmare. I was just picturing like they go through like space and time, but it's like a pilgrim, and then they just show up in a Domino's, and they're just like,
There'd be a lot of things wrong with that. So the story's
Name 5.
the pilgrims wouldn't know what pizza dough is. They probably wouldn't know what Domino's is. I don't know when like an actual domino was created.
Dominoes are like ancient things.
Well, yeah, but like not a red and blue one.
myth busted.
They don't know what
Busted.
They might not know what
Zach,
pepperonis are.
terrible news. Red and blue Dominoes are not the only. All right.
That's the only domino I care about.
I have a question.
Shoot.
When was Isaac Newton? Like, it was like, what, the third, how long ago?
A very long time ago.
When was Isaac?
No,
Newton?
because I was looking
One.
up stuff for it, and there is a guy named Isaac Newton who's buried in there. Obviously, it's not him, but like,
what
I
if
was
it
like,
was?
I was like, how far off? How? I
I'm-
know it was long.
I'm pretty
Isaac Newton was like
ago.
what? 12th century?
He was around with Jesus.
1643.
Okay.
I overshot.
No
It's
one
okay.
laughed at the Jesus bit.
Oh, I heard it.
I ignored it.
it.
Meanwhile, though, I did just double check when dominoes were invented. That was 12th century. So I'm on board somewhere.
No,
but
there's
not
just
the red and blue ones.
I'll kill you.
I was just
They didn't
looking
have
up
color
stuff.
back then.
They saw in black and white?
God.
Yeah.
As a child, that's what I truly thought. I thought
Yeah.
color came later.
Everybody shit their pants when Wizard of Oz came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like,
The
whoa.
first Domino's pizza was opened in 1960 by Tom and James Monaghan in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Oh, they're like
Wow.
160 years away. So-
Okay, that
I
does
didn't
make
realize
sense.
they were
Michigan-based?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
Wow.
I think I knew that.
I worked at Domino's at one point in my life.
Its
Yes, you
original
did.
name was Dominic's.
I did know that. They only
Ah.
that was only like not recent, but like within the last 20 years that changed, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, I'm
I would love it if it was just
Was-
that
there was
somebody
a
fucked up
Dominic's
the C
pizza
and
that used
turned
to
it into
deliver
an
to the
O.
schools.
Huh?
There was a Dominic's pizza that was like the schools would have Domino's or Dominic's and then some other stuff, but they didn't have Domino's until I was in like high school.
Interesting. I
Unless there's
remember
just- there-
Domino's as a child.
There could have
so-
just been a very different place called Dominic's that schools got it from, but
I mean, either
Fair.
way, it sounds like you had it better than me. Shout out
It
to
was
Dolly's
officially-
Pizza. Your food is gross.
Dolly's was great, and we also we
Dolly's
did have
is
Dolly's.
gross. That's why it's only in a liquor store now.
It was officially renamed Domino's Pizza Incorporated in 1965.
Oh,
I
so
was in
not
high
long
school then.
after.
Yeah. So 5 years later, after it
Yeah.
was founded, you were
Yeah.
in high school, and
Yeah, it's
that's when
only
they
like
renamed it.
60 years later.
Oh, buddy, are you
Nope,
the
nope. 50
are you the
years.
pilgrim
Yeah.
that traveled through time and space? Are you a little
I'm
lost?
so fucking confused.
I can't have a Baja Blast. It'll take me out.
Dude, but they didn't sell Baja Blast at Domino's.
Very good, Zach.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That's
sure.
a Taco Bell exclusive.
Yeah, it was Pepsi products. I'm pretty sure.
Which is
Yeah,
Mountain Dew.
no, maybe
Which is
no, maybe
Mountain Dew.
maybe it wasn't Pepsi products. But yeah, but I don't think we had Mellow Yellow. What is Mellow Yellow?
Coke.
Yeah, there it goes. Coke products.
All right, moving on.
So back to
Mellow Yellow. Speaking of glowing shit, back in we go.
Nailed it.